recording in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dormtainment Podcast. This is Cameron and I got Mike, I got Rome, I got Tay, I got Emmanuel, I got Chaz. Everybody give me a yep. Today we're gonna talk about an abundance of topics. Probably just one.
That's a big word.
Not really.
Man, we getting too old to be calling abundance a big word.
How many abundance?
Three syllables.
It's a different word. It's a different word.
Anywho, we're gonna have some good topics. We're gonna have some announcements that we about to kick off right now. Pastor Green.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back again. I thank y'all for coming to the congregation last week. We had Brother Chaz Miller. He was a little upset about the parking situation outside, but we've had a sit down, we've had a man-to-man talk, and Jesus is gonna fix it.
Usher Green, I got an announcement.
It's Pastor Green.
Oh, sorry.
And don't disrespect me, brother. I've been in the church a long time.
He worked his way up.
That's right. I was at an Usher concert last night. Usher's in my mind. Now, yesterday.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Usher Michael.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I know we gotta announce ourselves when we speak in this church.
Yeah.
But last night I went downstairs and the house smells funny. The congregation smells funny.
It smells funny.
Yeah, it smelled like a race I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
Because that's racist.
Okay.
But I just want everybody to know that in the congregation before you come to church, please shower.
Oh, all right. So make sure. Now we did have other visitors in the house yesterday, so you never know.
Well, maybe they threw off the pH balance in the congregation. Probably that's what it was.
That's probably what it was. But we gonna pray about it and we gonna move forward. I got a couple.
I got some Lysol for it with prayer to work.
Okay. Prayer and Lysol.
What's my church title?
What's your church title?
Yeah.
Deacon.
No, you're a choir instructor.
Okay, well, but your Deacon Dyer, the choir instructor.
Right. Deacon Dyer, the choir instructor.
He looked like one of the badass kids to be running around.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
This is the house of the Lord.
Come on.
You had something to say to Deacon Dyer?
That's Usher Richards over there with the potty mouth, with the poop mouth. We gonna put him back on bathroom.
I'm Usher to the Reverend Richards. Get it right.
I had something to
His
say,
his daddy used to run the church until Pastor Green took over.
That's why I'm not a fan of you.
Well, listen.
He took his daddy's spot.
Everybody didn't like Jesus either.
His dad got caught in a gambling ring. He served time. He the pastor at the Georgia Correctional Center.
Let's not tell the congregation's business.
I'm sorry. I do have a couple of church announcements. Want to let y'all know we had a brand new skit called Bars, Brokes Against Rap Slander that's been doing pretty good. Pretty good. I hope the fans out there enjoyed the skit. Hope it blessed y'all lives, and we got more coming from that. We also have a show coming up at University of Greensboro, North Carolina on March 29th. That is on March 29th. That is for Greensboro students, but you can bring one person. So everybody at Greensboro, at the College of Greensboro, bring out your family member, your girlfriend, your pet, I don't know, whoever want to come.
Pastor Green, I don't mean to interrupt. I know we talked last week.
Who is this?
This is Brother Chaz Miller, parking lot associate.
Yeah, and listen, I enjoy doing the parking lot duties, but we ain't got no more ice and it's cool out here.
Okay.
And it's hot.
Now.
But to be fair, brother, is that we moved to California for that very reason. So it wouldn't be as hot. There's no humidity out here.
But see, you will say that because you in the AC, brother.
Well,
outside ain't no AC.
My job is given to me by God.
The AC is the setup for the AC is outside, but the air's blowing on the inside, brother. Right. I need ice in that cooler.
I don't get how parking lot attendant Miller gets a seat at this table for the people inside the church.
If it ain't for me, they won't be in the church.
You right?
That's true. He got him in the church.
So I need ice.
You need ice.
You know what we should do?
I got you.
We gonna pray on it.
We gonna pray on it. Matter of fact, listen, we got another special guest. Y'all might have heard him before, but we gonna bring him on in. He come back every week because he love this church. We want to introduce y'all Pastor Savage. WWE Zion on the east side of Decatur.
Let us bow our heads And thank you, Lord, for blessing us with another day in your grace, Lord. Now, can you bless? No, I'm sorry, Lord.
Speak on
Not
it.
bless.
Speak on
I
it.
am sorry, Lord.
Speak on it, brother.
Woo!
Say
Can
it.
you bless
Say
Brother
it.
Miller on the outside and get some ice in his bucket
All right.
before he kicks the bucket?
Oh, okay. That's
Speak on
deep.
it,
That's
speak on
deep.
it.
Also, can we get Brother Nathan some Lysol so he won't have to experience what he experienced last week downstairs, Lord?
I don't think the fans know who that is, but okay.
Speak on. Speak on. That's right.
Also, can we bless everybody here today with your elbow of grace, Holy Spirit, in your name, Lord? We thank you. We thank you. We're going to come off the top rope and be like, Lord, grab us, DDT us, and then break our necks.
Come on,
So we
Pastor.
can be in your faith and
right.
grace, Lord.
Come on, Pastor.
In your name.
Amen.
Amen.
Brother Sabbath, he delivers every time. He delivers every time.
Powerful.
A broken bottle in the middle of that.
Speaking of that, I think I heard him drive off with that new Kendrick Lamar in his truck.
Speaking of that, new Kendrick Lamar.
I don't think there's any possible way that we could go a week without talking about the Kendrick Lamar album.
Nah.
It just wouldn't be right.
Not this week.
I think every media company will be talking about that Kendrick album.
And why is that?
Because if you listen to it, you have to form some type of opinion.
Yeah.
And my opinion for it is that it's a timepiece album, such as The Chronic, how that touched on the riots of that time, or Illmatic, how that captured his moment, his projects in New York at that time. This is a timepiece for our generation because it speaks about issues that our generation, even past generations, are going through. But he did it in a way where he's not pointing the finger at us. But what's that expression? He pointing the thumb at himself too. So is that us and him?
Is that the click of the gun?
Or is it that look in the mirror?
Well, the thumb is coming back at him too.
Now, is it the hitchhiker's thumb or is it the?
Yeah, it's a hitchhiker thumb back to him.
Okay.
Because basically he's telling his personal experiences, but he's teaching lessons from that.
Of course.
So not only is he telling you the issues, but he's telling you he went through it to know about the issues. Like, for example, the whole poem that kept going throughout the album, he said, remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power, full of resentment. So he's telling you he went through all of this, and now he's trying to teach you.
Yeah.
So you can learn from his depression and how he got through it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things. I feel like everyone has at least one song they can get from this album that they can relate to and help them to better themselves.
Yeah, because I mean, like when I first heard I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was like, okay, the groove is nice and everything, but I wasn't, exactly feeling it like that, like that. But then, like, even the album version is much better. You know what I mean? With the little thing that added in there, and when I heard you on there, now you kind of get why I was put on there, and for him to make just that big statement of I love myself, like it's kind of weird to sing just like as a dude, but then it's like in the context of the full album. That story he telling with saying that so loudly and like the depression that he said he went through. Like, it's like, okay, now you get why he led with that. You know what I mean?
And it makes more sense because in You, he was suicidal and fighting suicide in that one song.
Yeah.
And I is the anti-suicide song to help you get through that. So that's why I said at the beginning of the album, you see all the darkness and then towards the end, all the light.
Yeah.
Because perfect example, on You, is suicidal. He's thinking about taking his life. He's severely depressed.
Yeah.
But then the next song is All Right, which is saying if you believe in God, everything's gonna be okay. So it's like right there, back
and it's
to
just
back.
and you see the switch of the emotion right there. So I mean, like this man, like what I've seen a lot of people say like the album was whack. I've seen a lot of people say like it was trash.
A
lot of people say like it ain't got no bangers on there. You know what I mean?
Because it ain't got no fuck bitches get money.
Yeah.
Now, I will attest to that. A little bit of me likes the first one a little better just because of the I guess the music, the mainstream music that was
like
on
Swimming
first.
Pools.
Don't Kill My Vibe.
Yeah, okay.
Pope, what was the song with Drake? Poetic Justice. Like you had hits like that you knew like once you hear them, like these are radio friendly, consumer friendly songs. I think this album is more. It is a timepiece, but it is more of like to me it was like a book. It's like you might read it and like it, you might not, but ain't really nothing. It's not for everybody, I would say.
Yeah.
See,
I'm about to say it's this Japanese saying that says focus on the sword, the jewel, and the mirror. And I feel like in this album, the sword, he's talking about the weapons, which is the weapons against society that's been used, and then the jewel, the money. He was talking about money, how money really is irrelevant at the end of the day. And then he's talking about the mirror, which is talking about himself, looking at himself. And I feel like he touched on all three of those things on this whole entire album.
For me, I kind of disagree when people say there's no bangers. Two reasons. One, I think rap has gone to where everyone just wants to hear a tight beat and a hook, and that's it. And niggas forget about lyrics. You know, at the beginning it was all about lyrics.
It's always been like that.
But at the beginning, it seemed like it was more about lyrics.
Yeah,
so everyone wanted to hear. They wanted to hear. Not too much. Like
everybody
the early.
wanted a catchy something to dance to. At least when we talking about popular things that get popular mainstream, it's always been like.
But it was a time where people like they want to hear the lyricists. So like
That's
that was
true.
big.
Yeah,
But
what I feel.
Well, for my point, what I'm saying, it also does have bangers though, cause like All Right, that will be the and when he performed that, it's gonna be tight. Hood Politics, like it does have bangers, but I think people just come. I just need a club record, like you have to.
Well, they want the 808 driven. You know what I mean, like the you know what I mean? Which is, I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean.
But you get that everywhere. Why can't you
get that everywhere?
Alternative.
But my bad, go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say just 2 points. One thing that I really appreciate about it, and that he did on his last album too, is integrate a story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of artists don't do that. Just put that story and trying to tell it throughout. And on this album, I think he actually did it better than the last one.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot more. It was definitely meta or metaphorical a lot more, but it would. Once you got to the end and heard that interview and that poem together, it was so worth it. It was so worth it. And then my second point is he's at least trying to be ahead, because when most dudes are copying what's going on, we watched Breakfast Club, and we saw one great R&B singer turn into a rapper named The Hustle.
Damn, yo.
And it hurt my soul.
But I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too. But this,
I was like, no, this is a
him,
parody.
No, but when you heard him talk, it was kind of sad. It was honestly kind of sad.
I feel like he's giving up.
Yeah, but what I appreciate about Kendrick is that he's trying to push the culture, kind of like Kanye did when he put out 808s and Heartbreaks. It was so far from what everybody else was doing at the time, but you see later on, the rest of the world catches up. So watch everyone start copying Kendrick, in some way, shape, or form eventually.
Go ahead.
I don't know if this album is that, because I feel like there are albums that came out that have just been a good timepiece and a good album, but not necessarily something that caught on as far as sound goes.
Okay.
Because like 808s is different. That shit, like even anything Kanye drops is still, and that's why like I love Kanye so much, because Kanye can drop something that's so off, but it still has a sound of like, oh, this goes in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like Kendrick didn't necessarily do that with this one, which is okay. But at the same time, I don't think he's gonna get as much radio play off of it as he would with the last one.
No, of course not. Of course not. You know what I mean? But he designed that album to hit a certain clip. Like he knows how to design. At this point, if he wanted a radio single, he would have made that. You know what I mean? If he wanted to hit, you know what I mean, like the mainstream audience, he would have did that. But I ain't gonna lie, yo, this album is specifically designed for like it's like a black empowerment album, and so that kind of in a way, you know what I mean, in a certain way, it's kind of alienating his other fan base. You know what I mean? He picked up from the from that song. He picked up a bit, you know what I mean. Like he picked up a big fan base, a big wide fan base with those, and now he just skewed it because that shit was on his soul. You know what I mean? Because a lot of those big mainstream fan base, they come there because they hear, oh, he has bitch. I went to a party and it had a girl that had a shirt on that said, "Bitch, don't kill my vibe," and it was the corniest shit I ever seen in my whole life.
Did you holler at her?
No, I ain't.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend now, boy.
But I was like, you know what I mean? Like people were getting the wrong message from that. And he knew how to do it. Yeah. He knew like, hey, just put a curse word in your thing. Hey, just construct the word, just put drink in the hook. And you'll get a wide audience that comes to black music to use the black faces to be more wild to, you know what I mean? Like, okay, this is the wild music that I can go crazy to because that's what black people are like. And he saw, I feel like in a way he kind of saw the repercussions of that. And it kind of made him have a very internal conflict with selling his own blackness.
Right.
Another song that I kind of related to was How Much a Dollar Costs.
I think that's one of my favorite one.
And the reason why, because in that song he talks about meeting the homeless man that turns out to be God. And then, as soon as I heard that, it took me back to my mom when I was young. She told me that God comes in all forms and can come in different people just to be a test. You never know when you're being tested by someone like, one day he could be God for some reason testing me, but it was.
I just gave my man the weirdest look.
But when she was telling me, because we were at a stoplight and it was a homeless man, and when she was telling me that, she like, that man right there could be a test. Like someone doing something for him could be your test to God. And that's why I give money to homeless people.
Yeah.
Because I feel for them too, but that's one of another reasons. Because of that, I always feel like this could be a test. And like, if I got some money, like, he need this more than me. I don't even care what you go do with it. Yeah. That's not my business. But I feel like, hey, I can at least.
And it sucks because like Kendrick in that first verse, that's me. Like I'm not fucking with no homeless. Like I just don't be giving money to them. But I do get that point though. You know,
with giving money to homeless people, you gotta have discernment too, because a lot of them are it's just it low key. It could be the devil sometimes.
Yeah, I seen plenty of kids talking about my basketball.
That's
team.
different.
About 30 talking about he need jerseys.
I see them same kids. They go from season to season. One season they baseball, then football, then bowling, then golfing. Like yo, you don't play all these sports.
When I first came to Atlanta, I was in a barbershop. And it was, an underground. And the kids were selling candy left and right. And I had just denied a kid. And I felt so bad, like internally, like for like 30 minutes, I felt like terrible. I was like, dang, man, I just denied this kid. He came in the barbershop. He came in there counting bankrolls, just counting stacks. Like, yeah, I've been trapping all day. I'm like, damn.
That's the hustle, right?
And then another thing, I feel that what sums up this whole album is in the same song, How Much a Dollar Costs, he talks about, God asked him, has he ever read, Exodus 14, which is about Moses' story about splitting the Red Sea and leading his people, to a better life. But it's about that one man's power to lead all these people. And that's what he's trying to do with his album, trying to teach you lessons. And he's trying to lead his people. Basically, he's trying to be a vessel for God.
Now, the only thing, and I love the music in there. I love all musical styles. I love everything. My thoughts, though, this is just a question. Is he going to reach the people he needs to reach when it has such a different sound?
But see, to me, it's not different. He just took the jazz and the funk sound, which is like some of the earliest African American.
But like, if you wanted to, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you wanted to speak to people in the hood, that needed to hear, that have like these like self-hating, type of habits and stuff, that are just like totally unconscious. Wouldn't you use the music that they like to listen to or the rhythms that they like to listen to in order to get that message across?
He's rapping though. He's rapping. He's still rapping.
He's still rapping, but nobody's gonna like, Like a lot of people in the hood, like in Detroit, people think Detroit is like hip hoppy. Yeah. Nah, man, most niggas in Detroit be bumping like, we bump Blade, we bump like Cash Money, back in the day. No, but I'm talking about like Blade Icewood.
But for me, I feel that's what he did on. I feel like that's what he did with all these albums coming up to this. Like Section 80, he gave you that. Then he gave you the Good Kid, Mad City,
right?
To satisfy all those people that. So now you know they're gonna listen regardless.
Yeah.
So he did all that to get to this point.
Okay.
So it's like, does he have to do that every time? Like, why can't the people adjust? Like, I don't care if it's bangers or it gotta be these type of beats. Listen to the melody. Like, really listen. I suggest you read the Rap Genius. Just read it so you can keep up with it.
Read the lyrics
as you go.
Yeah, that's a good point that you bring that up, because even like yesterday, it came out night before. Night before, and Cam and Tay were like the first ones on it. But I was telling Cam, like, a lot of people listen to albums differently, and so you gotta kind of adjust to the way people listen to things too, because a lot, like, you're different. You guys take an album, sit down, listen to it, consume it, read the lyrics. A lot of people ain't got time for that. A lot of people ain't got time for that. A lot of people would be lucky to even listen to a whole album. They might pop it in on their way to work. So, a lot of things you gotta think about stuff like that and catch people's eye.
Well, just to know why, but I was gonna say, you know why? Because people so used to this hook and this chorus. That's what they used to. Now they're not used to conceptual albums anymore. That's why when he dropped Good Kid, Mad City, I was like, oh my god, this is like Chronic. Like, I haven't heard any conceptual. This album just be songs,
and that goes across all music. Like, even like dubstep. You know what I mean? You get your boom 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 boom. And then the song is done. Like, like, there's nothing more that you need to hear. You got your first minute.
So they know what they're coming there for.
Yeah, it's just like a whole bunch of orgasms. You know what I mean? Instead of just building up to, like a good one. You know what I mean? So I feel like the consumer part of it, I understand that, but I understand when you're doing it for the art solely, and you're trying to make an art piece, it's going to lose some of its consumerism.
Right.
I don't know if that's the word that
okay, so this is my thing, because I get what Mike is saying, because the first album was more easily digested, right? Because I think he took more time to consider the masses,
because he had to.
Probably had to. But if you're trying to deliver a message on top of selling CDs, one goal in mind should be to consider the masses, right? It should be to think, okay, what are they listening to? What are they doing right now? How are they doing it? So I can get my message as clearly as possible to them, right? So there's in art, just not even art, commercial art. Because what Kendrick is doing is commercial art. He's selling his CDs. So with that, you have to take into consideration your fan base. You got to take into consideration the people you're around. But with that said, us as creators, we've gone through levels of fan base, different levels of fan bases, right? We've started out so many different ways. When at one point we were just doing like random skits, and then at one point we started to transition into longer story-based skits, and you saw the difference in our the shift. You know what I mean? But we were going after kind of what we wanted, and we found a crowd that liked it, and we responded more to what they were liking, right? I'm not saying Kendrick is wrong or right. And I think, to me, this is one of his best. This is one of the best albums this decade, honestly. But I don't know if he considered the fan or considered the masses as much.
Let me throw this in the air. Maybe he went from the perspective of, okay, most people these days are considered followers. If you respect me and my opinion on something, I tell you, Kendrick Lamar is hot. You probably gonna automatically, he's hot. I love this album. It is good. Yeah. So he may be doing this just for the trendsetters and the influencers who are gonna understand it and let them relate to the people that's his followers, the sheep or whatever you want to call them, that this is good, and then they'll listen to it and then get it some more. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. He could have took that that approach. Because sometimes you can't keep doing what they want. You got to do it, and then whoever gets it gets it. Like, because you can't compromise the art all the time. Like, he did it so many times before.
Yeah, he did.
Give him his right to just make an art piece without having to.
That's what I think. I can't hate on that. I can't hate on that because you're still an artist and you still got to create something from your soul.
I want it to be genuine then.
And with Dre, you know what I mean? Even Dre, this is just total me just guessing. But I feel like Dre knows how to hit different. Dre is mainstream. He knows how to hit different audiences and mainstream audiences. And the fact that he had Dre on the phone at the beginning and said, yeah, anybody can get it, but can you keep it? Basically, I mean, I feel like, you know, Dre, in my mind, it kind of, Dre is relaying that message like, yo, if you put out something like this, you may not keep your fame. You know what I mean? Like,
I also took it as, because, you know, Dre's house is worth $15 million.
yeah.
But Kendrick went and bought a house that's worth $500,000.
Yeah.
So I took it as, at the beginning, this is where he was caught up and wanted all the material things, so he thought that's what make him happy.
Yeah.
He got stuff and realized that didn't make him happy.
Yeah.
And that line shows you how he changed, because you know Kendrick not like that anymore. Because Dre said, you said you want a house like this, but that's not what he had. So you know he's not like that anymore. That's what I took from it.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
But I took also, you know, it is hard to keep it once you get it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines is "Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass, nigga."
That's real.
That's what his grandma told him, right?
I love that because it's so.
It means so much, but it's just,
And see, he still gave it to y'all, like on the song. Is it all right? Boo boo, son, boo boo. Like that's stuff people gonna be reciting. Like so, he still getting y'all. But
I guess just not the amount that people want. I don't know.
But you know, sometimes you could go very far left.
and I don't
you know what I'm
think he
saying?
went that far.
Y'all think it's that far.
For what he delivered on his first album to that, it's obviously a growth, but it's also kind of in a different direction. So
But you know, but
those people aren't used to it. The masses.
I mean,
aren't
even
as-
that story that he told him the first one is more universal than you know, a black problem. I'm not saying that he can't hit on that, he should.
Yeah.
But talking about his mom and growing up and trying to get out of a certain situation, that relates more to a lot. Even white people can relate to that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's talking to this generation that's scared of police and all these incidents that's happening because, like, or even like complexion.
Yeah.
That's the issue we have between dark skin and light skin that everyone talks about.
and he's already talked about that too. You know,
that institutionalized King Kunta for free.
This
Hood
ain't-
politics
this
is just
ain't
talking to the
mainstream.
hood.
It ain't mainstream.
It's not which is cool. Which is cool.
But it's still topics that
It's still
everyone's talking about.
Yeah, it's still hot. You know what I mean? Like it's still like.
What
And shout out to Rhapsody, yo, because she killed when she
killed it.
Was on
that was
Selection.
amazing.
I think it was on Complex, right?
Complexion.
It was on-
North Carolina.
Yo, she fucking murdered on Complexion, yo.
Yeah.
But loud too, singing on some of these.
But
Yeah, I was
loud.
so shocked to see him on there.
Shout
I
out
was
to
excited.
Thundercat, yo. Thundercat.
George Clinton.
George Clinton, yo.
That Wesley's theory, that man.
One thing I do appreciate about Kendrick is that he does preach a lot of independence, and you know, you can tell his message is for young men to go get their own, which is I feel like is a big topic now.
Yeah.
Like recently, especially with Dame Dash's interviews and stuff, and a lot of people have taken it the wrong way as far as like what Dame Dash's message is.
What do you think they message that his message was, and what do you think how people took it,
Okay.
and then what do you think it was?
Quick story. I told my 17-year-old cousin to go watch the interview. I'm trying to court him. I realized that this kid looks up to me. I've like raised him from. I've seen him grow up. So I was like, I should take a bigger role in his life.
Right.
So I told him, I was like, I just sent him a link. I said, watch this. Tell me what you think. And he said, he was like, he seems a little angry, and he's quick tempered, and you know, people see that and they see that they don't see nothing really wrong with stuff he was. They see a lot of things wrong with stuff he was saying, like having a boss. He's very against he's anti-boss, and everybody's. A lot of people are like, a lot of people feel like, you know, there's nothing wrong with necessarily going to work and having someone tell you what to do and stuff. But what he is saying is, it's not necessarily, it's the way he preaches it can come off very wrong. Like, you know, people might be like, oh, come on now, it's too much. But the things he's trying to say, he's trying to build independence for everyone. He's trying to show everyone the light, especially young black men, that the way, you know, things have been done over the past decade or two is it can make a change, and everybody can eat, and everybody can survive, and it's not just about you right now. It's about your legacy and your family in the future, in the long run.
Yeah, and it's like coming from, you know, like a lot of people in Detroit. Like they talk about, like there's not a lot of jobs, so a lot of people make their own jobs, and being, you know, like whether those jobs.
I seen some video where a dude was like there's a group of people in Detroit that get like scrap metal together.
That scrapping
that's
is the
illegal,
biggest.
though, right? But I know everyone.
But they're making at least trying to survive.
Get your money, like, you know what I mean. Make your own job. You know what I mean. That's.
I think the only reason that the interview with Dame went the way it went is because I think the only reason the interview with Dame went the way it went is because he was more so demoralized. Like it was like, instead of him saying, "Well, this is how you become a boss," like he was saying, "Oh, you like that because you don't have a boss." It was like, "Oh no, you that way because you don't have a boss." Because you have a boss. That's what, instead of saying if it's the way you word it. It's the way you say everything.
I think he's. When you're like an arrogant person, people are going to look to poke holes in your you know what I mean. If you come humble, people are still. But at the same time, though, I do feel that, because even like some people like having a job, having a regular job. Some
we
people
need
like
people like that.
Every day. I mean, like most people should be like that. You know what I mean? And having your own stuff, being your own boss is hard.
But I think our generation is saying, like, our grandparents and stuff, all they was raised to do is just get a job,
go to school,
be there for the rest of their career.
But it can't work like that.
But now it's too many options. There's too many ways to have it yourself. I mean, we see too much stuff that we want it fast and like.
And there ain't no more retirement plans. You can't retire. So
and why do I want to work for his dreams when I could be working hard for mine?
Yeah.
Even though it's more work, but I'm happy at least.
Yeah.
I used to work at Publix back in the day.
What is Publix?
Publix is a grocery store in the southeast region of the United States.
Just for everybody listening, Publix got some bomb ass subs. If you ever go to
Publix subs.
Publix ain't paying us.
They got some good ass wings.
That's
too.
right.
All you gonna hear is, I used to work at beep.
But I used to put in so much work there. Like, I would get there early. I would be the last one to leave. I would know everything, the ins and outs of the store. Pretty much that store ran because of what I knew and my knowledge and the stuff that not only the stuff that they taught me, but the stuff that I picked up on my own and that I implemented to make the store run better. And it did.
But for what?
Exactly. For what?
For what?
Because now I'm gone. They found somebody to replace me, and there's nothing to show.
All you were doing was putting more money in the
owner's pocket, right? And I could have applied that same.
And you couldn't keep your mustache.
And I couldn't keep my mustache.
Damn, y'all, he couldn't keep his mustache.
So that's affecting his social life.
Oh, it did. Girls, why you ain't got no mustache?
No, girl, don't talk to him. He ain't got no mustache. She got him saying that's no
Since the owner couldn't grow a mustache, he made all his employees cut off their mustache.
Trying to keep all the hoes to himself.
See, but not to shit on it, because that's still just a motto. You know what I'm saying? Like a model of to climb the corporate ladder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that you didn't have any opportunity.
Right.
You could have, became assistant manager, store manager, blah blah blah. But I do believe I watched this thing recently on Blue Zones, right? And there's this place in Greece where this dude was talking to one of the guys that lived there. This old guy, and he had a fishing boat, and this guy from America came, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you know what I'm saying? You should get somebody to work for you on this fishing boat, and then that person can get a fishing boat. They can be under you, and next thing you know, you'll have a whole fleet of fishing boats, and you can sit at home doing nothing." And the dude looked at him and said, "What am I doing now?" While he was sipping his coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just chilling. And I think America's so driven on money,
Power.
money and power, like get as much as you can, But if this man who just owned his own little boat, did some fishing, had a beautiful life. He was happy with the simpler things.
And you hit the point that I got from Dame Dash interview.
Yeah,
it's
right.
all about ownership.
Right.
That's what he was trying to preach to Envy. Like, it's cool, but ownership, like, you just said to him, moving up the corporate ladder.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
true ownership.
true ownership. So moving up their corporate ladder, when he retired, he can't give that to his son or his daughter,
right.
Because he don't own it.
Yeah.
As soon as he's done, he's done. But if that was,
son, I'm gonna give you my position at
Yeah.
Publix.
Pass his apron down.
but if he owned Publix, he could have gave that to him.
I think my whole family has a job.
And then even Empire, which is a bad example, but that whole plot is about him trying to leave this legacy for his kids. Like he has a successful business, and before he dies, he wants to give it to one of his sons to run.
Right.
So he's an evil person, but he's doing all that for the greater good and that ownership. Like that's what he's fighting for.
Yeah.
If he was working for another company, he would not be fighting for that.
And just to piggyback off what you said, I think even the school systems, even Tay's giving me the finger.
just leave it.
I think that's how you were saying, like the model, the template.
Right.
I think even in schools, like corporate America implemented in schools. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That you know, get good grades, which is I'm a fan. Get good grades, graduate, go to college, get a scholarship, get a job, work X amount of years,
And retire.
and then retire. Quotation, retire. But
At,
I think it's
at
just
70 or 80 years old.
Die next year.
I think they put in your mind it's a false sense of ownership. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always a cycle. Really.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because the ones that own everything, they're the ones that's, like you said, sent back and okay, like puppet string.
They try to trick you with giving you stocks in the company.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When you give them stocks, they're like, oh, okay, I own this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you don't.
Which a lot of companies don't do, but the one I worked at did, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
But and then a lot of people had a lot of one day they would be at work and get a $10,000 check at Publix, like Publix workers. Just out of nowhere one day just for working there for 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And so stuff like that, it shows you that if you did own a little bit of something, you would get a lot out of it. So if you can give me a $10,000 check out of nowhere, how much money y'all got?
Well, see, here's the thing too, with that, even you be happy, $10,000. Yeah. 10 years, you put in $10,000, right?
$1,000 a year.
Yeah. And it's like you putting your sweat, blood, and tears into it, and you don't get 10,000 out of it. And the thing is, it's like that right there. As soon as you get it, you like, man, I'm gonna work even harder. See what else I can get. But at the end of the day, you still don't own nothing.
Because money's not the issue. Like money is people keep chasing money, and the more money you get, the more expenses you get.
And they keep you like feeling that Ferris wheel. Like my brother and my mom, she works at the post office, right? She's been working there for almost, it's gonna be 30 years, I think. And a couple of years ago, and this it's like a spit in my face. Like they gave her, well, let me. What do you think they gave her for? What was it? 25 years, I think it was.
That's a long time.
She worked there for 25 years.
What you think
That's
they
a
gave her
long
for?
time.
A pen.
A gift card.
Some money.
Yeah,
A check.
I don't even want to say what I was.
What? I would say a check or something. But
Yeah, check us out.
No, they gave her like a little crystal plaque saying thank you.
Yeah.
And after seeing my mom come home like many nights, she's hurting, like her body's breaking down, like this is all you give your employee.
Yeah, she just got a pinched nerve.
That's what she's got a pinched nerve. She got, and you get for a plaque.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I understand where Dame was going, even though I hate how he
The
was
way
going
he-
that envy, like you can't, because some people with jobs, like I'm not knocking the 9 to 5. It's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Some people they need their structure. They like their structure,
yeah.
and that's cool. If that's what they want to do, that's cool. But it's people
There's
like
different ways.
Yeah,
They have
And
there
I
are
think
different ways of living.
the way to do it, if you want a little ownership in a company, is like getting the ground level. Like people that worked on Google or Facebook or those ground level, they got stock. So when it went public, they all became millionaires. And I can agree with doing that because like you're working to build this startup.
Yeah.
So everyone is like almost an owner to build it up to that point, and that makes sense. Not an established corporation.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's different ways to do jobs too. Because I mean, shoot, man, like if you got the skills, you know what I mean? Like people with skills, man, they be switching jobs like every 3 years now. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of jobs that
We just talked before this conversation. I had 9.
He had 9 damn jobs, man.
And all of us, we had at least 100.
Yeah, man.
But the one thing I say with a job though, if you flip it right, it could be beneficial. Like for me, working at Vericom for 2 years, I saved for the moment when I quit and I am on my own, I can have backup money, which I still have till this day. Which I still have some this day. What is it? 4 years later? Yeah. And I feel like Jay-Z when you talking about I still got money from Reasonable Doubt. I still got money from Farrakhan.
But the thing
It's in the hundreds. But
when you do it like that, when you save up for a greater good.
Yeah.
Or have that job and the money that you do save up, if you got enough saved, you can just invest it back into yourself or back into, because it's a lot of people who have jobs who have dreams that they want to pursue, but they don't have that security. Yeah. So if you take that job, you work there, but mind your own business as well. Like go in and put money into whatever your dream is and do it that way.
And that's why any teenager, anybody in their early 20s listening to us, if you still live at home with your mom, don't be ashamed. Take the advantage. Use that to save some money, to stack up. Think about what you're trying to do.
Make a smart in the back, though.
No, Chad.
No, you might
get you inspired.
Even this model, like we got like 6 dudes in the house and we all trying to get it. You know what I mean? You might link up with a couple of your homies and you know what I mean? Y'all might spread it out to where it makes sense to get a spot for yourself. You know what I mean? I'm sure you're paying your mom some rent. You could be having that type of thing and have a little more freedom, you know what I mean, in a certain type of situation if one of y'all credit is right.
And for us it do get rough. Like we ain't the richest. Well, we're not even rich. But we still struggling trying to make it. But I'd rather be struggling doing what I want and be happy than have money when I had at my job and be miserable.
Right now,
I had mood swings. I wasn't happy. But now I'm happy and I don't have nowhere near.
But we have options. That's one of the best things.
And the potential where it's going.
And we built ourselves up to where, you know what I mean, we can move on to the next thing that we want to do. You know what I mean? We can move up and up, like with our own things just by sacrificing some of our life's what's those things we should call it? Our life's expenditures.
Things we like to do.
Things we like to do, like have transportation or pleasure,
right? Going out to eat.
But you sacrifice some of that stuff, you know what I mean? And now you put yourself in a position to where it's like, okay, now, you know what I mean? People recognize that you are for what you do. Now
it's a slow process too. It's like, I mean, it should be a slow. Don't aim to have it. A lot of people aim for that quick cash.
Do you want this? Do you believe in yourself? Do you got potential?
Well, sign up under me. You can start out at a lower level.
That's a different mindset. Because those people are willing to sacrifice their morals for money and do anything. So if you just want it quick, fast, you can get it quick. This stuff we could do to be way more popular, but we don't want to sacrifice.
But I'm also talking about the fact, like we do comedy. So I mean, being happy, just to be happy with yourself. Like any kid can have an ambition. And I was watching House of Cards, the last season. And then this one part, Freddie, the black guy who owned the rib shop, they were walking out. Him and his grandson were walking out the president's office, and the president had told his grandson, "Hey, you could be whatever. You could be whatever you want when you grow up. You could even be the next president." And so when they walked out, he said, the grandson said, "Could I really be the next president?" Freddie said, "Hell no, you ain't gonna be the next president. That's not what you do. That's not you. You know what I'm saying?" He said, "Basketball players, and most of them in the NBA, they get in there because they're a certain height, their skill set, but yet their height, and there's some people that are not gonna make that. They're not as physically gifted, as others." And half those dudes can't read, a lot of there's a lot of people that can't, unfortunately can't read in athletics.
Shoot, I understand. You see them words in them books?
Abundance is you. But the thing is not just. You can always have high expectations.
You got different type of theirs. We don't even know how to structure that right.
there.
My theirs just be all over. I be guessing.
But people can have certain expectations for yourself, but just be realistic too. It's okay to own. Our homeboy just opened up a restaurant. He's opened up.
Shout out to Jeremy from that guy.
Y'all seen him? If you're a fan of the show and the movie, but he just opened up a restaurant. It's a slow build. It's a mobile restaurant, right?
No, at first before Mike told us the great news about it, when we was in our apartment and me and him was talking, he was saying he's getting ready to open up a food truck. When Mike said he opened up a restaurant, I had to call him.
That's cool.
I was like, man, I remember when we was talking, you said a food truck, but you got a restaurant now.
Even better. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? The bottom line is everyone got to start from somewhere. Yeah. All right? And just do things that make you happy. Whatever is going to make you happy, it's going to be a minute to get there, but take
now, with that being said, I would like to ask, because there are certain people that have dreams, and there's certain people that have dreams that may be close to you. What do you do? Like in our last skit, I came in and I was the rapper, but I was delivering the pizza. Mm-hmm. This is a very specific question. What do you do when your homie is a rapper and you want him to fucking stop? He been rapping for 6 years and he ain't popping.
Damn,
you know his music ain't good. You know his music isn't good, and it hasn't improved in 6 years. He's brought all this equipment. He wants to do all these shows, but he just don't got it.
I ain't got friends like that.
Friends like that.
It goes back to what Manny was saying about the House of Cards episode with Fred and his grandson. It's almost like as a friend, a true friend, you want to tell him. Sorry, it runs in our blood. You want to tell him this might not be for you, but at the same time, you don't want to crush his dreams because you never know. He's been grinding for, you said 6 years.
6 years.
You never know. That 7th year?
I mean,
I'm being honest. Like that might be his year, and he really takes off.
And he might pop off as a whack rapper.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was gonna say. Like this day and age, some of the music is so bad that gets on. I can't tell.
Do you know how many messages, like seriously, how many messages I got about that money song? Like, hey dog, hey for real yo, that shit was hot, dog.
That goes back to the problem we have with this Kendrick album. See what they listen to.
Money.
You're
Serious. Money.
That was even serious, and they just go, oh, this is hot. But the Kendrick is bad. But my thing, I'm not a dream killer. I can't. If someone's following dream there, I can't. Unless you're really close to me, possibly, but I can't. But I hate dream killing. People can say the same thing for us. We've been grinding for 6 years.
We ain't been grinding. Well, we've been working, but we've been showing
progress. It's always been.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you may think he's bad as your opinion. Some people think we bad as their opinion. So to them, some people may say, "Stop."
But like when he asked, like, cause I have some rapper, like some people come up to me, you know what I mean? Cause I'm a producer and like I haven't popped off at all, but I know I have a certain level of, you know what I mean?
Well, as a friend, you might need to stop.
But I know like I get a certain reaction from people when I release something or make something. But I have some friends or I have some people come up to me and be like, hey dog, you know what I mean? I've been grinding for this, like listen to my joint, and I listen to it. And it is not of quality at all. Yeah. And what is the line? I mean, for me, I respect the art of creating music so much. When you like, it's emotionally draining for me to tell you it's not good, even when I know it's not good. And it you know what I mean? It sucks.
Let me ask you this.
If I'm gonna just keep it a totally 100 with you, this is not good.
Well, let me put this up. I tried to sign to either Rome's label or Tay's label for the longest as a rapper, and none of them wanted to sign me. But what they don't know, I have a crossover hit called "Dick Touch the Water" that nothing but white people talking
with
about.
You on that, though.
Yeah. Hey, that's what signing is. It's a partnership when I sign. And I typed in "Dick Touch the Water" last night on Twitter. White. There's white people just taking it. I have a crossover hit, so sign me, somebody out there. I got hits.
But I was gonna say for the rappers who come up to you, the best way to handle that is, I think, if they ask you, "What do you think about this?" You have to say, in order not to be a dream killer, maybe, in my opinion, in my opinion, that might soften the blow a little because they're like, okay, well maybe not your opinion, maybe somebody else might like it, but you still have to let them know your opinion.
But I've done it so much. I'd be like, hey man, like oh man, like I point out what I think is good. I make sure I point out what I think is good. But people still be picking up on that. Oh, you don't fuck with my shit, bro.
No, but do it in a way where you tell them your honest opinion, but then try to tell them how they can get better. Like tell them go study this or go study that. Like Big Sean, everyone said he was whack when he first started, but look at him now.
Yeah. But see, people would take that as you sunning them, and rapper ego.
But they coming for your opinion, so they can't be mad when they ask for your opinion. If you just came out to him, yo, it's trash. But if he come to you, that's on him.
You should always give your honest opinion. So if your homie was rapping for 6 years, I released like 10 mixtapes, and he has not gotten better, you wouldn't tell him, or would you tell him?
I'll be like,
would you go to him, or would you would you wait for him to ask you?
I have friends that are doing things that I don't necessarily agree on, but I see that they're happy and they're doing something that's positive at least in their minds, or even for society, but I don't agree with it, but I can't tell them stop that.
What do you want to tell me to stop, Cam?
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I will say, you just gotta keep it real with that person. I don't necessarily mind honesty sometimes. I mean, if they don't like you after that, they ask for your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So if you tell them the truth, that's what's up. But I never will say stop doing this.
No,
that's killing. That's killing. When you say stop, you need to stop because you trash.
But what if he coming to? What if he calling you and he like, hey man, my baby mama tripping. She saying we ain't got no money. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to follow these dreams, bro.
Then I'm gonna be like, Fred, let's be realistic. We gotta be realistic.
My name is Estaro.
I'm not calling you that. I'm calling you.
Get a job, but still follow your dreams. I had a job, I still had doing
exactly.
I can't be no rapper out there working at Publix.
Okay, you don't want to do that. Then how else can you get money doing what you do with the equipment that you bought? You can produce
sell these drugs
with the audio. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's other ways to make money while you can still pursue your dream. Mm-hmm. If you want to do that for there are musicians that do that for their whole life but don't really make money from it. Yeah. What they do is they work a 9 to 5. Yeah. But they also do what they love. You know what I'm saying? So you could always do what you love. Hopefully you grow in it, but be realistic. If you're not making money, find a way to make some money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta survive. So,
and if you're doing something for 10 years and ain't getting better, man, you need it. It's something about you.
Look in the mirror.
Yeah,
look in the mirror.
Most of I'm saying, man, it's a lot of rap, man.
I know. I see.
In my opinion, to be honest, man, it's a lot of people that need to quit. I'm sorry, I'm just say that. It's a lot of people that just need to stop. Yeah. It's just not because they don't. And I'm gonna say they need to stop because
But there's a different.
But they need to stop just because they're not progressing and they're not they don't care about the art of actually
making standards have fallen.
Yeah, standards have fallen.
Motown days, even you had to be able to sing. These days, there's people that can't sing.
But even then, there's a certain juice you gotta have. You gotta have a certain voice. You know what I mean? You gotta have a certain image. You gotta have a certain thing. You gotta present a certain thing.
But there have been rappers, and this is to combat that, because an artist, Fred will probably tell you, but I know artists like who's taking 10 years to get to where they want to be. You know? I've heard Malcolm Moore, for instance. Whether you like him or not, he's been actually trying to get it for a long time. And he even switched up his name a couple times before he landed Malcolm Moore. Yep. So who's to say if somebody would have told him stop, he would have never been the multi-millionaire he is today, whether or not you like his music. You know what I'm saying? He's still successful in it. So
he went through a lot of stuff too. You know what I mean? He talked about how I don't know if it was addiction or he was addicted to, you know what I mean? He went through some stuff through his journey as an artist.
He has some stuff to say.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I've always appreciated Malcolm Moore's grind and hustle. You know what I mean? Well,
that's not what you were saying when you was listening to him.
That's not on our show. That's a lie. Well, I'm gonna listen to the song and be like, yeah, man, his grind is crazy. But you know, and I was when Malcolm Moore was first starting to pick up that traction, I picked up on him. I really, I respected it. I saw the whole thing. I was like, yo, man, you can't help but respect it.
But see, same thing was happening to everything else. Like, people do anything for the quick dollar. Music is suffering from that because people put out anything just to make money.
Yeah, and then it just works like economics. You know what I mean? There's an inflation of whack ass rappers, and then you got your Kendrick ass niggas who come on.
But then it comes out. Good music also comes out of letting people that can't necessarily sing in. Cause like Dream gave us some amazing stuff. Ty Dolla $ign gives us some good stuff.
He gives us
and
some
he's like
music.
Rihanna, like she has good albums.
Rihanna has a nice voice.
She has a nice. All these people have good voices. That's it. And they can't sing. Well, I can't sing because I think
The Weeknd. You have all these people that give you different sounds, different good music, but they can't necessarily. They wouldn't have made it in Motown days. Like,
no, you wouldn't have made. But I mean, that's what it's about nowadays. It's about having a musical style more than it's about having a musical talent. I'm not saying these people aren't talented because
they could also be talented writers, but don't know how to sing, but they know how to get their point across.
Yeah. And I like all them artists. I like anybody who can create a unique. You know.
Now we could talk about these artists all day, these rappers and musicians and stuff. But what I want to know is, what about these comedians on? So tune in next week to our next podcast. We might be talking about some other things. So that's how I end that.
I think we have 54 minutes, so we can go ahead and wrap it up.
All right,
y'all. Thank you for tuning in to another Dormtainment podcast. These will be dropping every. Once again, every. So tune in next. And thank you for tuning in. All right, y'all.
Later.
Yeah.